to rub my face off altogether.
Are you bleeding?
Stage.
I'm sorry about that.
Almost. I was thinking the last time we worked together was on the 6 o'clock show.
Right.
Now, as a 6 o'clock shadow, that is ridiculous.
It's not bad, is it? Yeah. You're going to ask me why, aren't you?
No, I just thought you might comment as to why.
I don't know why. I suppose because it's there, really. I've always thought that once in a man's life he should grow a beard. And this is the time, I think. I didn't know it was going to come out blonde, though. That's the one thing about it. I had a moustache for a little while, years ago. My children were very tiny. When I shaved it off, they thought it was going to come off like that. And my daughter came up with a little box with cotton wool in the bottom I could put it into. She'd keep it as a souvenir.
Do a lot of viewers ring in and say, get it off?
Yes. Yes, it's very unpopular. In fact, they did a survey. Out of 100 people, 12 liked it, 13 hated it, and 75 said they couldn't care less.
Well, I don't want you to get mature too quickly, you see, Michael, because it's the young Master Aspel that I'm interested in. Happy days?
The childhood? Some of it, yes. We had a very happy war because we were evacuated, my family and I, and it was a smashing time in Somerset.
I mean, smashing from which point of view?
Well, fresh air, lots of fun, jumping off haystacks. There wasn't a lot of that in Wandsworth. And the American troops came to stay as well. And that film, Yanks, I don't know if you saw that, but that was the way it was. It was a lot of fun. We scavenged the camps and became their pals and did lots of favours for them.
And what kind of favours now, Michael, did you do for them?
Well, I should think I might be responsible personally for quite a few members of the community down in Somerset by introducing the troops to the girls down there. And, you know, I would be called and they give me their photograph and they say, can you introduce me to a girl, boy? And so I used to go off and say, do you like this gentleman? Would you like to go to the pictures with him? And they'd say, thank you very much. I don't know why they wanted to be friends with the girls, but that was it.
A 10-year-old pimp, perhaps?
Exactly, yes. I made a lot of money that way.
Actually, did all that association, and obviously fond association with the Yanks, influence you at all in terms of movies? Did you want to be a movie star when you were a child?
Yes, nothing else really. I wanted to be Hopalong Cassidy or Flash Gordon. I was a sort of Flash Cassidy, really, and yeah. It was a lot of fun. I lived in the pictures, actually, all the time, and still do if I can, as much as I can. And used to reenact the stories in the streets afterwards, and really wanted to be a cowboy film star, nothing else.
What a pity you didn't make it.
I
think you'd look good, actually, with a beard and everything.
Yes, Stubby Hayes, wasn't it? Gabby Hayes, Gabby Hayes, yeah.
You've had so much success on radio. Did you listen to radio very much as a child?
Yes, very much. There was Wireless in Toy Town, was one of the favourite programmes, with Larry the Lamb and Mr. Grouser and all that lot. And when we were evacuated, I used to have to carry the accumulator, which worked the set. And I was sent off to get it refilled, or whatever you do to accumulators. And I used to hug it to my chest, and when I got back, the acid made my shirt fall off. Happy memories like that. But the radio one lived by, yes. And Happy Drome, you don't remember Happy Drome, but that was a smashing programme.
Actually, I was thinking, too, that when you ended up as a BBC radio announcer, I mean, that must have been quite an achievement at that stage, all those years back.
Yeah, well, I was a radio actor first, and that was extraordinary. Because I'd lived and adored the radio. I never thought that I should be involved in it. But I got to know some people and went and knocked on somebody's door and said, who should I apply to? And they gave me the name of somebody, and I had an audition. And I was on the air the next week, almost, because I could do accents. I had this parrot thing of doing accents. Because really, I talk like this. But I'm just putting on this for the sake of the telly, you see.
So did you do lots of these accents then as a child?
Yes, my first radio part was as Captain O'Haggerty, who you wouldn't like at all because it was my attempt at an Irish, Southern Irish accent, and it was very unconvincing, but I was in Cardiff at the time, so I got away with it. And they were lovely days.
Yeah, but then you went to being this frightfully awfully BBC announcer. Were you part of the Dinner Jacket Brigade at that stage?
Yes, I came in on the end of that when we did introduced programmes from Lime Grove, and there was one communal dinner jacket which everybody wore, and it was too big for me. And I used to have it pegged at the back. And, of course, you only saw this part. You never saw you wear tennis shorts or grey slacks, whatever, underneath it. And, as I say, you know, I did wear tennis shorts on one occasion, but nobody knew.
Actually, it's quite ridiculous when you think about it, having had to dress up in dinner jacket for radio.
Yes. Well, there was a time in Broadcasting House when they had to wear dinner jackets. That was on television, mind you. That was from Lime Grove. But they did, as you say, have to wear dinner jackets for radio. And if there was someone in the audience, or rather to be interviewed, who was above the rank of bishop or colonel, the announcer had to wear a tail suit, the full morning gear for the wireless.
And just think of how you dress these days.
Quite.
Actually, you did a good turnout this afternoon. I have to give you that.
You're welcome.
Actually, but in BBC, I heard a rumour that you and Richard Baker had a bit of a duo, a bit of a double act going at one point.
I wonder what you were going to say for a moment. That's why I grew the beard. No, yes, we did. We did. Richard's he's a musician, as you know, and he had a collection, and still has probably, of Victorian old songs, the tearjerkers. There was one called "Which is the Way to Heaven, Sir?" about two little kids whose mother had died and they'd gone to look for her. And Daddy's Little Blue-Eyed Boy about a baby. And his mother-in-law used to go around and give everyone a hanky in the audience, or a party, and we would sing these songs, and people actually cried. They were very sad.
There are lots of tales, too, about jokes and pranks that you played on each other and things that generally went wrong with the news, behind the scenes.
Yes, I think it's Australia where most of the pranks occur, where they set light to the newsreader's trousers and raise the microphone up and do all that. But I actually did sit there once and the telephone rang and it wasn't there, I couldn't find it. And it was trapped underneath the desk and I just disappeared out of shot. And all they could see was my left ear occasionally. And yes, some very, very embarrassing. I was sitting there another time. I could hear this crackling sound as I spoke and I thought something going wrong. So I spoke faster and faster, and the camera went off. And a great piece of wallpaper came unstuck from the set behind me and wrapped itself around me, and it disappeared from view. Actually, I would have preferred it to happen on the air, because I don't know about you, but I like things to go wrong.
That's right. Well, yes. Whose nerves aren't shattered. Actually, we've dug up some of that marvellous old film from Miss World days, because you did it for something like 15 years, and things didn't go quite right on the Miss World contest either. Did you have to write down all those languages parrot fashion?
Yes, I wrote down 78 interviews in 10 languages, none of which I spoke. I mean, if she had answered me correctly, I wouldn't have known it. So for the very last one I ever did, people said, these questions are so banal. I asked them all about 18th century literature and the political situation in their countries. And the answers weren't very interesting then either.
Did you have to live down that kind of smoothie image because you were associated with Miss World for so long?
Oh, yes, I never have. That was just one night of the year. And I was doing a lot of other stuff at the same time, but I was simply the Miss Guy, the Miss World compare, and that was the label that stuck, and I think some people think I still do it.
But you're quite glad in yourself to have left that all behind.
Yes, I didn't enjoy it. It was hard work.
Many would not believe you, Michael, hard work chatting up all those women. One lady you did go along to see, though, one lunchtime, all your success brought you an invitation to visit the Queen.
Yes, that's true. They used to have, I don't know if they still do have, these monthly lunches where I honestly believe a pin is stuck into a list of names from different professions, trades, or whatever you like to call it. And my turn came in 1968, I think, and I didn't believe it. I thought it was one of the guys having a romp at my expense. But it was on, and I turned up there. I turned up in a dirty little old car. And I honestly didn't believe it was on. And the policeman said, right, through there, son. And I drove through, and I got out, and this chap, the uniform, up to here, and bottle tops everywhere, said, you'll go to park here. So I put the car there, and I got out and locked it up. And he said, I think you'll find it still here when you come out.
Did you find the Queen has a really good sense of humour?
Absolutely marvellous. I mean, and she's very attractive, too, and petite. And because people look bigger on the screen always, don't they? And she had a wonderful sense of humour. A helicopter landed in the grounds outside. She said, I wish they wouldn't do that. It makes the window so dusty. That kind of thing.
Well, Michael, thank you very much. I was just thinking that the pair of us are almost in competition with each other on radio every day. Guests who come to me either say, I've been down to Michael Aspel on Capitol, or else they're saying, I'm going there tomorrow. So I think we should do a deal one of these days.
All come to me instead?
It's funny you should say that, yes. Michael Aspel.
Thank you.